ESPN1090ESPN1090ESPN1090.com.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends, what's happening? It is Kaplan and Crew along with Grande and the Brown Man from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, broadcasting on the airwaves of ESPN 1090 on radio. To all of our YouTube viewers who are already getting involved in our YouTube chat, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and we're there too. That's where we're communicating during the show as well. And for everybody that's going to catch up to us tonight on television, Channel 4 San Diego, Cox in the YourView network. We got Channel 4 San Diego and in Santa Barbara, so going north and south, and in between in Orange County and in LA, we've got Channel 118, which is on Spectrum and Cox Cable. So hopefully you're catching up to the TV show as well. Hey, fellas, I know we both, or all three of us, want to get into this Brian Flores story. And Browner told us early on he's pissed and he's going to be breathing fire here this afternoon. Do I got that right, Brown?
Close.
Spit hot fire.
Okay. Hey, before we start, I want to tell you guys something. Browner, my email has been getting a lot of people, or at least I'm receiving emails saying, hey, people are buying more of the Kaplan and Crew hoodies. Brown, we got to be getting close to being sold out on these hoodies, don't you think?
No, you got the hoodies. We gotta get to the bottom of this because we have orders that we need to fill, and
Okay.
we are looking like bad business people at this point.
We are. So how about this? We're going to start getting all these new orders that have come in. We're getting them out, say, on Friday. But Browner, check this out. I've been getting a lot of people hitting me up saying, hey, dude, you were wearing this black long sleeve T-shirt earlier this week on the show. How do we get the black long sleeve T-shirt? And so you guys tell me, should this be the next product that we release? Because now that we're, in the merch world, should we do the long sleeve black tee? What do you guys think about that? Because again, I wore this, I think, on Monday, and I got a lot of feedback from people going, yo, how can I get one of those? What do you guys think?
Look, man, let's get the sweaters out of the way first. Let's do one baby at a time. Let's get the sweaters out the way first before we start talking about a second baby.
Well, we're almost out. We're almost sold out of the Kaplan and Crew hoodies, and I can tell you this because I haven't looked at the orders, but dude, all we have are XLs remaining. So if you order a large and you get an XL, that's what you get.
Well, I don't. Okay. We need to start contacting people because people.
I don't think that's how it works.
Oh, is that not how it works?
It's not how it goes, my man.
If I ordered a large and an extra and a double X game, I mean, what's the point of that? Can't wear it.
Right.
I don't know.
Or the other way around, I mean.
Refunding people.
Oh man! All right. Well, this is the part of the business that I just did not want to get into at all.
That makes two of us.
I know. So we got to figure.
Why
this
don't
out.
you just help yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Email cousin Nancy
Mm-hmm.
and just tell her pause all shopping orders right now.
You like that idea,
That's like
Browner?
a very simple fix. Just pause them, not stop. Just pause them for now until you figure out what you got.
All right, that's a good idea.
I'm pretty sure I have access enough to do that, but I would absolutely tell her to do it because I don't want to crash the website.
Just email her right now and she'll do it.
Okay. All right. Does that mean that you're going to do that, Browner?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, nice. All right. Let's get going here today, guys. We're happy to have everybody along. It is a Wednesday afternoon. I said it earlier, and I'm going to start here again. I think it's really interesting how the news cycle works. And now the lead story, you can't turn on ESPN, CNN, etc. You cannot turn on, be it a sports network or a news network, and not be hearing about Brian Flores, the former coach of the Miami Dolphins, and his lawsuit against the NFL. And I don't know if anybody has taken the time to actually go in and read the complaint. I found it really, really fascinating that yesterday was the first day of Black History Month. And the way the lawsuit starts off is, hey, today is the first day of Black History Month. Martin Luther King Jr. fought for equality, 45, 55 years ago, right? And here we are today in the National Football League, a league that has, in the early part of the 2000s, installed something called the Rooney Rule, which was essentially forcing owners to, at the very, very least, give qualified minority candidates an opportunity to interview for jobs like general manager and head coach. And again, the numbers continue to provide the answers, which is the NFL has done and continues to do an absolutely horrific job of finding opportunities for African American, in particular, men in the NFL in jobs like general manager and head coach. And I actually thought, as naive as I am, I actually thought this is the first time this offseason when, Alex, weren't there were 9 total head coaching vacancies, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you're going to find 3, 4, 5, 6. Who knows? This is the opportunity this year for the NFL to say, see, we are all about inclusion. It's not just end racism in the end zone or on the back of somebody's helmet. We're serious about this issue. So this is the offseason with this many job openings where there are going to be guys like Eric Bieniemy, whose name is always at the top of the list, or a Byron Leftwich, whose name seems to be at the top of the list, or a Brian Flores, who just got done coaching the Miami Dolphins to winning seasons. Not exactly, making a championship run, but winning seasons. I thought this would be the year where you would see more African American qualified coaching candidates get interviews and get jobs. And frankly, I mean, look, we can all sit here and we can do the research on our own. It just hasn't happened. I mean, it absolutely hasn't.
I mean,
happened.
has Eric Bieniemy even got interviews this year? I feel like he's been the man forgotten. I haven't heard a single thing about him.
I don't hear his name at all. I hear Kevin O'Connell, the offensive coordinator of the Rams, who, like Eric Bieniemy, does not call the plays. I hear Kevin O'Connell's name. Now, you can look around the league and say, well, here's Sean McVay. Here's Zach Taylor, who's now coaching the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl. Here's the dude Matt LaFleur up in Green Bay, who comes from the McVay tree. He's also a young guy. He's got his team positioned every year. So McVay is the hot guy with the hot tree, and people want the McVay. They want the McVay fruit to fall into their organization. And most of these guys are white guys. I guess the example would be Raheem Morris, who's this defensive coordinator, but he's only been there a year, so he's not really the McVay guy. So this is a ballsy move by Brian Flores, and I'll say it like this, because he will be to coaching what Colin Kaepernick was to players, meaning he will be excommunicated by the owners of the NFL. And in my guess will be he'll never sniff a head coaching job in the NFL ever again. But the way he tells the story, because by the way, he's making the rounds. The lawsuit came out yesterday, and Flores is on every TV show. You can't turn on a TV without finding him today. He is doing the media rounds. He's doing the PR work that has to be done. But he's saying, look, I love coaching. That's what I'm about. But I will not coach again. And I understand that because they'll kick me out. And again, I think he will be to coaches what Kaepernick was to players. He'll never get back in, would be my guess. So Browner, I know you got a lot of strong opinions about this. What's your opening thought?
Look, man, I will ask you a question because I wrote this down. Why did it take the Chargers 57 years to hire a black coach? Like, why?
Well,
why? Because I want to keep it local. Because I don't want this to turn into this thing where I'm trying to explain all these tentacles of frustration with the NFL. So I'll ask a very simple question to two people who followed the team very closely for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Why did it take the Chargers 57 years to hire a black head coach and only did it upon moving to Los Angeles?
Why did it take the Chargers that long? Listen, I don't have the exact answer, but I'll give you an opinion.
Please.
Which is the first probably 35 years. Look, racism was not as, it was pretty overt, right? It was pretty obvious.
Yes.
In the NFL back then, it wasn't just that the Chargers, using your example, didn't hire a black head coach. Nobody hired black head coaches. Not only that, but remember, back then, NFL owners didn't think black guys could play quarterback.
Yes.
Okay, so then fast forward, and let's talk about from probably let's call it like 1990 till when the Chargers hired Anthony Lynn. You got to remember, the old man who owned the Chargers at the time, old man Spanos, he had a reputation for being anti-Semitic and racist and everything else. So if you didn't think a black man was capable of playing quarterback, you probably didn't believe that a black man was capable of leading your organization as the head coach. And I'm putting words into the mouth of a dead man, but I think it's pretty obvious to see. So what took them so long? Just, I guess, obvious racism.
And that gets me to what upsets me about the NFL.
Okay.
I love the NFL. I'm not going to stop watching it because of what's happening with Brian Flores. I didn't stop watching it after what happened with Colin Kaepernick, but I remain steadfast. I don't purchase any NFL gear. I don't purchase any NFL paraphernalia. I just watch the games.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's my way of not supporting, quote unquote, to the fullest extent. I will never stop watching the NFL because the NFL is giving young, poor black men an opportunity to create generational wealth for those and those around them. And so without the NFL, I don't know what a lot of these black men would have done with their lives in a productive manner. So, like, I can't imagine what Antonio Brown would do without the NFL. I just don't. Like, he was homeless in high school, sleeping in a car. I don't know where he would be without the NFL. And a bunch of these guys can attest to that as well. But what bothers me about it is that it's an openly racist organization. It just is. It just is. We all know this. Like, we all know teams tank. We didn't need Brian Flores to basically prove it to you that they tank. We didn't need that. We knew it. But for some reason, people who fight against the NFL being racist, you have to give them smoking guns, and you got to dig the bullet out of the person who was shot with the smoking gun for them to believe it. So the fact that I love football, I love the NFL to a degree that I will never stop watching it because of what it's done for black people. It upsets me that so many good things can come from such a sour fruit. And that's what the NFL is to me. It's a sour fruit producing good, I guess, jam. I don't really know the transition from that, but that's what it is, man. In the NFL, black head coaches, your reputation has to outweigh your resume. Period. It has to. It has to, because Adam Gates was a terrible head coach. He was terrible in Miami. He got another job. He was terrible with the Jets. And there's instances where white coach after white coach, and I don't want this to be a black or white situation, because the best person should get the job. But you mean to tell me that Brian Flores is not more qualified than Brian Daboll? You're gonna tell me that Matt Eberflus is more qualified than Brian Flores? Because they're not. This guy's got multiple winning NFL seasons.
Right. But I mean, look, if everybody's equal, like let's just say Brian Daboll's resume is comparable to Brian Flores' resume, even though Flores has 2 years as an NFL head coach. Ultimately, you're the owner and you're sitting there in the room, and here's this guy, he's this white guy, makes this nice presentation, and now here's this African-American guy, and he too makes a nice presentation. And both guys are kind of right there. I'm just kind of right there. And they're equal. They've been assistants in the league for all these years. They've worked under these head coaches. They've tutored these players. They've been part of these teams, and they're just kind of equal. But I'm an owner, and I'm a white guy. And for some reason, I happen to like this guy. I feel more comfortable with this guy than this guy. And then Daboll gets the job and Flores doesn't get the job.
But I understand what you're saying. If all things were equal, I get that. I perfectly understand the scenario you're trying to create. But in this particular conversation that we're having, we can't do that because things aren't all equal. They're not. And so we have ample evidence to have this discussion without doing the all things equal, because that's the problem that the NFL owners.
Hey, I just want to ask you, are you saying, though, that if I'm the New York Giants and I like Brian Daboll and I like Brian Flores, and I have to make a decision between these two guys, and ultimately the decision comes down to, well, Flores was a coach in the NFL for 2 years.
A successful coach.
Well, he didn't make the playoffs.
He's got a winning NFL record.
Okay. All right. But does that mean that I, as the owner of the New York Giants, here's Daboll, here's Flores, I like them both. The only difference is Flores has 2 winning seasons as the coach of the Miami Dolphins. Therefore, he gets the job.
In the United States of America, you cannot force someone to hire someone. you can just publicly let it be known that they're not hiring black people, or they're not making cakes for gay couples, or this organization is against Jewish people. Like, you can't force a company or force people to sell something or hire a particular type of person. You can just make it public that they don't, and then it's up to the public how they do business with that said business, and that's my personal issue. That's the inside thing that I have to tackle with as a NFL lover, as a intaker of football, as one of the 50 million people that was watching that game on Sunday. I'm also still helping provide these owners large sums of money with my viewership, and I have to combat that within myself, regardless of how nasty it makes me feel, because I know the people who are above these guys, they don't want people who look like me in front-facing positions.
Yep. No, I got you. Hey, Alex, listen, this is an emotional topic. And when we talk about racial issues, they usually are emotional. Browner is all in on this. I kind of dissect these sorts of things. You're usually the level-headed guy of the crew here. So I'm curious, as you're hearing me and Browner go back and forth, what do you make of all this so far? And then we'll like I said, we'll hear from Brian Flores. We'll go through the text messages from Bill Belichick. We'll talk about the tampering related issues, the money that was being offered to tank and lose games intentionally. We'll get to those details, but we're dealing with this on an emotional level right now. Which, by the way, Browner, I totally understand the balance issue that you're combating in your life, which is I love football and I love the NFL, but gosh, I hate the way these guys do business. I feel the exact same way. Like, I love the game of football, and I think the NFL is the most exciting league in pro sports. But gosh, I hate these guys, not just because of what we're talking about today. It's the ripping an organization out of a community, which obviously impacted all of us directly. So I understand the emotions you're dealing with. Grande, you're usually, like I said, you're kind of the less emotional, more level-headed. Jump in here.
Well, I don't know if this particular case proves that the NFL is systemically racist in this particular case, but I think the Rooney Rule itself provides that fact. I mean, the fact that you have a rule in place that you're making your NFL owners talk to black to position of power in itself is racist. I mean, that shows you that the NFL has a problem. You know, if it wasn't a problem, you wouldn't have the Rooney Rule. If people were getting fair shakes, you wouldn't have the Rooney Rule. So I don't even know how you fight this lawsuit, because you clearly, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but you clearly have a problem if there's a rule in place that mandates that you speak to minorities for your head coaching and general manager positions. Now, when it comes to Brian Flores, I don't know if this particular case is going to prove that it's racist, because they did interview two other dudes that were minorities as well. You know, they interviewed Leslie Frazier, and they interviewed their own defensive coordinator, who's a black guy too. So um, it's an interesting conversation, though, because it's something that the NFL has been trying to fix. Now they even mandated, I think even a year ago, that you have to meet with them in person. You know, that's not a requirement for a white coach. It's a requirement for your minority candidates to be met with in person, at least one. So if you're the NFL and you get this lawsuit and immediately you're like, this lawsuit has no merit, it's like, how do you know immediately? Like, how do you not even like, we're going to look into it and see what happened? The NFL immediately is like, we're not racist. Well, you kind of are. It's been proven over and over and over. I don't think you need to look at just this year. You can look back in 2 years, 3 years, 4, like it, however many years you want. Things have happened. So I don't know if Brian's going to win this one, but it's clear. It is clear, and you really got to be just blind to the fact if you don't think the NFL is a problem.
Yeah, I think you're right. And listen, let's do this. We're going to get into more of this story because it is the national lead. And again, I find it all interesting from a news cycle standpoint that, again, think about this. 2 weeks ago, wow, the greatest weekend in the history of the NFL, maybe the greatest game in the history of the NFL. That's what people were talking about. Follow that up with the AFC and NFC championship games. Wow, the Cincinnati Bengals stunned the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. Wow, the Rams come back on their home field and beat San Francisco, and the Super Bowl is set. And that's the storyline on Monday. On Tuesday, the storyline becomes Tom Brady. It's official. He's really retiring. He's doing it. That becomes the storyline till later in the day when Flores takes over. And I just find the whole news cycle of all of this to be really interesting. We'll get deeper into this story coming up. You'll hear from Brian Flores. We'll get into the Belichick text messages, all that coming up in just a matter of moments. Hey, before we get on, I want to mention iThriveMD. iThriveMD.com/Kaplan. Quick story for you. So a friend of mine today, I won't say his name, he's a former NBA player. By the way, Browner, an African-American gentleman, I'll have you know, who texted me. Shout out what?
Shout out, get that paper.
Yeah. So my man texts me today, and he's like, look where I am. And he's got a selfie, and he's got the intravenous vitamins from iThrive going into his body. And then I send a text over to Dr. Samir Damani and go, hey, my friend is there right now. Then I get a selfie of Dr. Damani and this gentleman inside iThrive MD. Look, get healthy, guys. It's 2022. iThrive MD is San Diego's leading anti-aging clinic. So we all want to stay as healthy as we can. We want to be as energized as we can. I always talk about testosterone and what that can do to boost your energy. NAD injections, which can take your energy to a whole other level. These vitamin intravenous bags, which can help your body absorb nutrients that food doesn't. So I'm just telling you right now, iThrive MD is the place for you guys to get healthy in 2022, like my friend whose name I won't use on air, but there he was sending me selfies from iThrive today. iThriveMD.com/Kaplan. All right, coming up, let's go deeper into this Flores story.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Catch the action as St. Augustine takes on Mission Bay February 4th at 7:30 p.m. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health.
I'm Erica Cardenas. On the next episode of Your Health, we're kicking off the new year with healthy lifestyle tips. We tackle and bust health myths and need-to-know education about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Watch Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living. Mondays at 9 on YourView.
I founded Driveway Auction after working in the automotive industry, becoming a dealer and questioning the process that puts consumers at a huge disadvantage when selling their cars.
The big difference between Driveway and the other services is that Driveway works for you. If you've ever tried to sell a car, you know that it's an awful process that makes you either go and meet strangers in parking lots to take test drives or sit at the dealership for hours and hours while they wear you down. Driveway eliminated all of that.
With Driveway Auction, we come to you, so we complete the 40-point vehicle inspection from the comfort and convenience of your own driveway.
We send an independent third-party inspector to take measurements of the car, take pictures of it, evaluate the condition.
But we use that information to advocate for you, using our network of buyers to compete. And when they compete, you win.
They take over the whole process, and you don't have to do anything.
Our clients get more money and a better process with Driveway.
Everybody at Driveway made me feel so comfortable during the whole process. It was a great experience.
Prospect Home Finance is a mortgage company. We specialize in residential refinances and home purchases. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, if you're going out looking for a pre-approval to buy a new home, meet with the realtor, we would help you facilitate that. and walk you through the process from A to Z. We specialize in getting homeowners loans for their dream home, but we also do more than that. So today we came down to Ocean Beach, partnered up with Surfrider, and had some team members come down here from Prospect, all pitched together, and had quite a bit of trash to clean up.
It's really heartening to see people come out and really care for the waterways.
It was great getting out here, and we're going to do it again soon. We're always looking for ways to give back to the community of San Diego. So if you have any ideas or need any help or support in any way, visit us at homefinance.com.
1090 just got bigger and better. Please join us in welcoming SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate, the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. NFL, MLB, NBA, live games, the best sports talk programming with the largest signal in all of California. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida.
Welcome to 2022. Did you make a New Year's resolution?
We have the top 10 most popular and our advice on the next
Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida Sunday night at 7 on YourView and YourView.com. Catch the action as St. Augustine takes on Mission Bay February 4th at 7:30 p.m. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
When doors open for kids, they change lives. For over 75 years, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater San Diego has been opening its doors to provide a safe place for kids whenever they are out of school. A place with caring mentors and opportunities to focus on academic success, healthy lifestyles, and character building. At the club, we do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid that walks through our doors by inspiring, empowering, and changing lives.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
University of San Diego women's basketball couldn't quite overcome an early deficit against Gonzaga last weekend. Jordan Edwards led the charge offensively for the Toreros with 20 points, while Sydney Hunter had 6 points and Steph Gorman had 5 points. Defensively, USD had 24 rebounds, 14 steals, and 1 block. They also forced 25 turnovers. Also last week, USD fell short against Portland despite outscoring the Pilots off turnovers with 25-19. USD will look to get back on track as they next take on San Francisco on Thursday. The last time these two teams met up on January 8th, USD got the win. This matchup begins a stretch of 3 games of West Coast Conference opponents for the Toreros. USD is 10-10 on the year, 2-6 in conference play. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by YourView.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
When California weather conditions create a high risk for wildfires, electric companies may shut off power in some neighborhoods as a precaution. These public safety power shutoffs could affect homes and businesses and interrupt power to your home, devices, and even our Cox facilities. During a PSPS, we'll work hard to keep customers connected to their Cox services in conditions that are safe for you, our employees, and our community. For information and updates, follow us on Twitter and visit Cox.com.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends. We welcome you back inside the 7 Mile Casino Studios here on Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. Everybody listening on ESPN 1090, glad to have you guys here. Yo, our YouTube chat on fire already today. We'll all be in there as well. So jump into the conversation. And for everybody that's going to catch up to us tonight on television, we're talking about the story that America is talking about. And I don't mean just America sports fans, I mean all of America. And Browner, me, and Grande have kind of given you at least some initial thoughts. I will tell you this, Browner. I feel obviously terrible for guys like Eric Bieniemy and Byron Leftwich, and in this case, Brian Flores. I feel bad for these guys that are having to battle their way into head coaching jobs, and the league who wants to promote equality. They do it in the end zones of games now. They do it on uniforms. They say they want to battle, racial injustice. The fact is, their actions don't really seem to be consistent. But on the other hand, I just want to say one other thing, which is, look, there are a lot of really good qualified African American coaches. There are also a lot of really good qualified white coaches who also don't get shots, who also can't get an interview, who can't get a chance. And so look, I understand what we're talking about is an African American gentleman who had 2 years as head coach of the Miami Dolphins, winning seasons, not playoff seasons. I don't recall them being in the postseason in the last 2 years. I remember them making big comebacks and having respectable winning seasons. I mean, the Dolphins this year were 1-7 to start the season, and I think they finished the year 9-8. That's pretty damn impressive, but it gets you fired. But you know why it gets you fired? Not because you don't make the playoffs. You get fired because the owner says to you, hey, look, I want us to be bad. I want us to get a top draft pick. I'll pay you $100,000 for every game that we lose. And the coach is like, yo, look, I got players in there. I got coaches. I got staff. Our goal is to win. I'm not taking your $100,000 to intentionally lose. That's one. Two, when Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, who is a very well-known Michigan alum, must have a relationship with Tom Brady, a Michigan alum. When Stephen Ross calls Brian Flores and goes, yo, you got to come to my yacht this afternoon. And Flores shows up and Ross says to him, hey, Tom Brady's coming on the boat this afternoon and you're going to use your relationship because of your days in New England with him. And I'm going to use my relationship as a fellow Michigan man. And together we're going to double team Tom Brady and we're going to get him to come be the quarterback of the Dolphins. We all know the story. He went to Tampa Bay, but according to Flores, who again paints himself as a man of great integrity, Flores is like, I'm not tampering with this. I'm not getting myself involved. I was in New England. I know about Deflategate. I know about Spygate. I'm not getting myself involved in this tampering situation with Tom Brady. So according to the complaint, Flores leaves the boat. So when you ask why was he fired by the Dolphins because he was a winning coach, the reason he gets fired is because a billionaire owner tells him what to do and he don't do it. And now the man is probably never going to coach again in the NFL because when you go up against the NFL, see Colin Kaepernick, you generally never get back into the NFL.
But that wasn't the complaint about people with Colin Kaepernick, if I'm not mistaken. I thought they said he couldn't play anymore. I thought they started not you. I'm just saying.
Colin Kaepernick, and I know. No, but we know Colin Kaepernick was essentially kicked out of the league because Colin Kaepernick made the league look bad. And by the way, the league ultimately had to admit that years later. Remember, it was not long after George Floyd last year where Roger Goodell was sitting there going, hey, on behalf of all the white guys in the NFL, particularly the owners, like we really screwed this thing up and we're sorry and we now know, but you should have known already. And then Colin Kaepernick, after, Browner, to your point, after being kicked out for quote unquote political related reasons, the reason he could never get back in and the reason given was dude can't play anymore.
Right.
And we all know that that's not the case because listen, if Eric Weddle can leave a couch and come back and be as impactful as he has been with 2 years of not playing in the NFL, I grant you he's not a quarterback, but he's kind of quarterbacking the defense. If Eric Weddle can come back and play this effectively, Colin Kaepernick could have been on somebody's roster. Now, the argument, of course, from some people would be he didn't want to be a backup and he wasn't going anywhere where he couldn't be a starter. And we can have that debate all day long.
Right. But that's not. That's not what I'm just. But
saying Flores is going to be to coaching what Kaepernick is to players.
Yes. All of a sudden, you would hear people come out and start saying that he was not relatable. He was hard to work with. Some people are already saying, "Oh, he was hard to work with. He's rigid." Name me an NFL coach that isn't rigid. You gonna tell me Bill Belichick ain't rigid? Tom Coughlin wasn't rigid. Like who's his
Sean
guy?
McVay.
Sean McVay? Not like you name a coach.
He's not rigid.
You name a coach.
I'm saying he's not rigid.
No, keep going. Name another one.
Well, he's saying not.
Right. I can hear him. He's saying he is not rigid. Who's the Titans coach?
Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel.
Rigid. Successful.
Okay,
winning. Rigid. Coach.
I will say this. I'm pretty damn. I mean, there's still 4 coach openings remaining. Jaguars, Texans, Vikings, and another one, I'm sure. Jaguars. I am surprised Flores is not a head coach yet. I mean, not anymore.
Texans,
but up until yesterday, I was very surprised that Flores. I said it when he got fired. He will be the first coach taken off the market.
Wrong. The Texans are going to hire Josh McCown because I told y'all this last year when they hired that old ass black man to be their head coach's cover while having Josh McCown on the staff. The second they were gonna fire this man, Josh McCown is on his second interview. Josh McCown, no real coaching resume. Great backup playing resume, yeah. No real coaching resume. But now here he is on his second interview.
If the Houston Texans really wanted to make a splash, if the Houston Texans really wanted to try and fix their organization and kind of go counterculture against the NFL ownership, I don't know why they'd want to do that necessarily, but man, Brian Flores, you imagine that?
If you want to get Deshaun Watson back, that'd be a great start to, I don't know, hire Brian Flores, a guy who wanted to trade Deshaun Watson to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, you guys want to hear from Flores? I think, listen, we're emotional about these kinds of topics. Everybody who listens to this show knows, and especially over the last year and change. I mean, we will tackle these topics. We will get raw and candid on these issues. But let's actually hear from him because Brian Flores made the rounds today. He was on just kind of to balance things out. Hey, I'm on CNN and I'm on ESPN. Alex, you want to play for us some of what Brian Flores had to say today?
You know this could cost you your career. So why are you doing it?
Like I mentioned before, this isn't about me. And I understand that. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than football. Many have come before and done a lot to create change in this country for people of color. And I just felt like in this instance, it was my turn to step up and be an agent for change, and I'm proud to do that.
Gosh, I got to give this guy so much credit, man. So ballsy, right? Like, you're an NFL head coach, you make millions of dollars, you're probably going to get another head coaching job at some point. You feel like you got totally jobbed in this entire situation, and now you're willing to sacrifice your career. I'm not saying he's not going to coach again. He will. It may not be in the NFL, maybe a college job, maybe he'll go to an HBCU. I don't know. But the question's legit because he probably has given up his NFL coaching career,
But why do you, what you're saying is a fact. My question is, why when a person tries to point out what's wrong, that you have to now give up your livelihood to do that? When it's clear that the other party is wrong. Like this, there's also part of this report that he did one of these Rooney Rule interviews with the Broncos, and they showed up drunk.
Well, he said that John Elway, he said John Elway, and I don't remember who the other gentleman was, the president of the team. Yeah, they showed up hungover and late. Yeah. Well, hey, look, listen, that doesn't surprise me, not one bit. And if I were John Elway and this other gentleman, my defense would be, yeah, I may have shown up late if he were white too. I mean, so what? We showed up late. We showed up hungover. What does that mean? Maybe we did this. I mean, that one to me. I mean, now we're really, really, really.
No, but what we're doing, what he's doing, not we. What he's doing is giving you instances in which these people are forced, like Alex said, the Rooney Rule. They're forced to interview these candidates. And so they treat these interviews with less respect than they would. You think he showed up drunk when they hired, who's this kid that Broncos just hired now?
Nathaniel Hackett.
You think they showed up hungover and disheveled when they interviewed Hackett for his job? No.
I don't know. I doubt it, but
no.
But I don't know.
Text him.
Why don't you ask him?
No, Scott, you're
Hey,
friends.
John Elway, did you show up drunk when you hired Hackett?
Well, let's hear more. Let's hear more of Brian Flores, because he went on CNN. What you just heard was from CNN. But he also made an appearance on ESPN. So he's like,
he was on CBS 8. He was on CBS.
He was on CBS this morning too with Nate Burleson.
Gayle King. With Nate Burleson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. See, look, here's the thing. It doesn't take a genius to figure out the public relations part of all of this.
Of course not.
This comes out on the first day of Black History Month. The beginning parts of the complaint are about Martin Luther King Jr. and the history of Black people in America. It's very PR calculated. And then when the lawsuit comes out on Tuesday, my man is in New York making the rounds, CNN, CBS, ESPN. This is all planned, but this is not like something where they decided this a day or two ago. This is something that's like, hey, you know what?
I'm gonna sue these MFers.
I'm tired of this nonsense. And my choice is I either continue to play the game or I say screw it and I just go scorched earth. And he decided to go scorched earth. Here's with Mike Greenberg, who you hear on 1090 earlier in the day. Here's Mike Greenberg with Brian Flores on ESPN.
You were working too hard. You were doing too much in the effort to win. He was trying to get you to do a little bit less and said, I'll give you $100,000 for every game
Exactly
you lose.
that. That's just not in my DNA. That was never going to happen.
So what did you say to him?
That's never going to happen. I didn't come here. Look, I'm always going to try to win. That's who I am. And I owe that to the players in the locker room, but also the support staff that's in the building, who work extremely hard. If you've been in an NFL building, everyone in that building, his job is important. And everyone works hard to try to get on the same page and move in the same direction. And I felt like we were building that type of culture. So I would never do that to them, And at the end of the day, I think it was the reason why I'm no longer there.
Yeah. The part that I think Flores was really pissed about, and I think it's the part that a lot of people are talking about today, is you got Bill Belichick, who's sending Brian Flores text messages. But the problem is, and we've all done this.
We've all done this, yeah.
We've all done this.
Some with pictures.
Right. Like when I type in Alex on my phone to send Alex Padilla a text, I got a bunch of Alexes that come up. And if you push the wrong one by accident and then you go, oops, sorry, message was for somebody else. Well, Belichick winds up sending these text messages to Flores. Flores is like, Coach, are we sure about this? Alex, can you read these? Because for me, as I'm getting a little older, this is kind of fuzzy and it's hard for me to read.
Yes. So Bill Belichick starts off the conversation. Sounds like you have landed. Congrats. Brian Flores responds, did you hear something I didn't hear? Belichick replies, Giants? And Flores goes, I interview on Thursday. I think I have a shot at it. Belichick responds, got it. I hear from Buffalo and New York Giants that you are their guy. Hope it works out for you if you want it too.
Okay, hold on. Pause right there. So Belichick, he knows the New York Giants organization. He once worked in it. He's hearing as somebody who's got, he's tuned in the NFL circles. Hey, I'm hearing from my guys in Buffalo because that's where Daboll was. And I'm hearing from my guys in New York that you're their go-to guy. But remember, Belichick thinks he's talking to Brian Daboll. He doesn't know that he's talking to Brian Flores. Alex, keep going. If you could put these back up on the screen, keep going.
Flores responds, that's definitely what I want. I hope you're right, Coach. Thank you. And then kind of realizes, Coach, are you talking to Brian Flores or Brian Daboll? Just making sure. Belichick responds, sorry, Dash, I effed this up. I double-checked and I misread the text. I think they're naming Daboll. I'm sorry about that. BB. Flores responds, thanks, Bill.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Woo!
Called him Coach earlier. Yeah.
Burned it up.
And so now you've got Belichick, the dean of all NFL head coaches and a guy who is, tuned in. Belichick says congratulations, but he's talking to the wrong guy. So Belichick knows that the other guy's getting the job, and this infuriates Flores. Think about it. Flores was raised as an NFL assistant coach to become an NFL head coach by Bill Belichick. He was raised by him. So he could be like, oh man, this sucks. I'm not going to do that to coach. I'm not going to drag him into this mess. But Flores, like I said, is burning this thing down where he's even willing to show the world how Belichick knows before Flores even gets a chance to interview. Because Flores says, I'm going to interview on Thursday. So
he already told him, congrats, you got the job.
Yeah.
And then told him the team. So he knew. Because, look, man, they hired, Joe Judge was a Belichick guy. They hired him. Brian Daboll, at some point in time, if I'm not mistaken, also worked with the Patriots in some capacity.
Don't know that. I don't know his resume that well.
They hired him. The Giants clearly love the Patriots organization in some way, shape, or form, because I think they wanted to interview Josh McDaniels. So he knew what they were doing. He knew it. And he just texted the wrong person, which happens.
Right. Yep.
But if I'm him, I'm throwing everybody out. I'm throwing it all out because somebody got to do something. Somebody got to do something.
Well, that's it. And he's the guy who's decided I'm going to be the guy to do something. That's right, Browner. You got it. I think you nailed it.
You know what I need to nail? This mustache off. I need to shave it.
You need to shave your mustache?
I do need to shave my mustache. I wish I had something to help me with that.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, as a matter of fact. Let me have a second here. We have got a great sponsor on the show, Manscaped. This is a Carlsbad-based company that has gone completely international. You see them, Alex, you see Manscaped ads on UFC fights. You see them on international soccer games, right? I mean, don't you see all that? You see Manscaped everywhere in sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They're everywhere. So Valentine's Day is coming up, and Manscaped has the Performance Package 4.0. So let me tell you something. With Valentine's Day coming, fellas, you ever buy, for your wife, you're like, hey, honey, look, for your birthday, I got you a brand new TV. When in actuality, you got the brand new TV for her birthday, but it's really kind of for you, right? Well, this is one of these gifts where, guys, you're giving the gift of Manscaped to your lady, but really the gift is for you. Because let me tell you something. If we think that the ladies need to be properly groomed, well, guess what, fellas? The ladies feel the same way about us. It's the Performance Package 4.0. So, Alex, I know you've got one sitting right there, an entire box of the 4.0 package.
Yep.
Let's go through it, because I want to just tell you guys one thing. They have in this 4.0 package a pair of underwear, chones, right, Grande?
Yes. Let me.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I've got to go onto the Manscaped website. If I could buy 5 pairs of these underwear, I would. I'm wearing them right now. I feel like if I stand up and I pull my fat belly out, you'll see I'm wearing these underwear right now. They are by far the most comfortable underwear I've ever worn. The Manscaped underwear. What size are those, Alex?
Large.
You fit in those?
Yes.
Oh, because I was going to ask if I could get that pair.
Well, if you order a large, they give you a large, unlike us.
Right. We
Right.
give you what we got, right?
Yeah.
They're a real company. We're not. We're a bunch of clowns. All right. So the Manscaped 4.0 package, here's the beauty of it all, guys. It's Valentine's Day. They actually, at Manscaped, they're trying to create a new holiday on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. They want it to be called National Shave Your Balls Day. That is literally what Manscaped wants to call February 13th. But here's the deal. If you go to manscaped.com, you get this exclusive offer from us. It's a 20% discount plus free shipping when you use the promo code GreatFriends. The promo code is GreatFriends. Alex, just go through the entire box of stuff you got there, because you got the lawnmower, which is great, I know, for your beard and obviously for the manscaping parts of your body.
Yeah.
You got the trimmer, the nose and ear trimmer, which for me is critically important, because as I get a little bit older, first of all, my nostrils are ridiculously hairy and my ears are getting hairy and it gets a little embarrassing. So you got the lawnmower, you got the ear and nose trimmer. What else comes in this package?
The ball deodorant, the ball toner, a newspaper to catch your clippings, a pair of chonies, and this great tote bag.
I have that tote bag with me right now. here in Mammoth, and it's in the bathroom, and Rachel said to me, "Oh, did you get like a new toiletry bag?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it from Manscaped." It's the Performance Package 4.0. It's right on time for Valentine's Day. Fellas, you're going to go out to dinner. You're going to show up with flowers. Your lady's going to be so happy. And then later at night, when you go in for the you-know-what, for the lovin', and you got it yourself all nice and cleaned up and Manscaped, she going to be so happy. That's your Valentine's Day gift, baby. 20% savings, free shipping, manscaped.com. Use our promo code, great friends. Guys, I'm telling you right now, everybody who has listened to us over the last year who has gone out and bought this performance package, the Performance 4.0, they've all loved it. It's inexpensive. You're going to use it forever. And the lady in your life is going to be very happy. Do you guys think there's any chance that February 13th becomes National Shave Your Balls Day?
Listen, there's a day for everything. I don't see why not.
Why not shave your balls before the Super Bowl?
There's a day for chicken McNuggets. Like, there's a day for everything.
All right. Hey, it's manscaped.com. Use our promo code Great Friends. You'll save 20% and free shipping. So much more to get to.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Alive and Well at Your View want to send you and a guest on a fabulous vacation in Hawaii. You'll stay at the luxurious Fairmont Orchid Hawaii and experience their award-winning spa. Enjoy acres of gardens, waterfalls, an oceanfront pool, and white sand beach. Winners will also receive Sambucol Black Elderberry products to complete your wellness journey. Visit aliveandwell.tv for your chance to win.
Catch the action as St. Augustine takes on Mission Bay February 4th at 7:30 p.m. Brought to you by Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
University of San Diego women's basketball couldn't quite overcome an early deficit against Gonzaga last weekend. Jordan Edwards led the charge offensively for the Toreros with 20 points, while Sydney Hunter had 6 points and Steph Gorman had 5 points. Defensively, USD had 24 rebounds, 14 steals, and 1 block. They also forced 25 turnovers. Also last week, USD fell short against Portland despite outscoring the Pilots off turnovers with 25-19. USD will look to get back on track as they next take on San Francisco on Thursday. The last time these two teams met up on January 8th, USD got the win. This matchup begins a stretch of 3 games of West Coast Conference opponents for the Toreros. USD is 10-10 on the year, 2-6 in conference play. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
1090 just got bigger and better. Please join us in welcoming SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate, the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. NFL, MLB, NBA, live game, the best sports talk programming with the largest signal in all of California. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Today, we proudly held the ribbon cutting ceremony for our new office in La Jolla, California. Here we are in the Merrill Lynch building, right in the middle of the village, and really, really happy to be part of this neighborhood. This is really special to Prospect in that it almost signifies the fact that we've grown up officially. We have survived the past 15 years by being very agile. We come to this one amazing location from 3 separate offices. So it's fantastic having everyone under one roof. This is going to do wonders in terms of streamlining our operations, being able to communicate with someone down the hall as opposed to someone who's several blocks away is going to be terrific. Our CEO, Jason Vondrack, he's a very humble person, but I know this day really, really means a lot to him in that he has led this company for 15 years. And he started this business out of a studio apartment. And look where we are now. That's huge. I think this new space signifies just endless possibilities for prospects. I mean, we're headquartered in La Jolla, but we do business all around the country. So our goal is to be licensed to offer home financing in all 50 states, and we're well on our way.
Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
I founded Driveway Auction after working in the automotive industry, becoming a dealer and questioning the process that puts consumers at a huge disadvantage when selling their cars.
The big difference between Driveway and the other services is that Driveway works for you. If you've ever tried to sell a car, you know that it's an awful process that makes you either go and meet strangers in parking lots to take test drives or sit at the dealership for hours and hours while they wear you down. Driveway eliminated all of that.
With Driveway Auction, we come to you, so we complete the 40-point vehicle inspection from the comfort and convenience of your own driveway.
We send an independent third-party inspector to take measurements of the car, take pictures of it, evaluate the condition.
We use that information to advocate for you, using our network of buyers to compete. And when they compete, you win.
They take over the whole process, and you don't have to do anything.
Our clients get more money and a better process with Driveway.
Everybody at Driveway made me feel so comfortable during the whole process. It was a great experience.
Prospect Home Finance is a mortgage company. We specialize in residential refinances and home purchases. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, if you're going out looking for a pre-approval to buy a new home, meet with the realtor, we would help you facilitate that and walk you through the process from A to Z. We specialize in getting homeowners loans for their dream home, but we also do more than that. So today we came down to Ocean Beach, partnered up with Surfrider, and had some team members come down here from Prospect, all pitched together, and had quite a bit of trash to clean up.
It's really heartening to see people come out and really care for the waterways.
It was great getting out here, and we're gonna do it again soon. We're always looking for ways to give back to the community of San Diego. So if you have any ideas or need any help or support in any way, visit us at homefinance.com.
Kaplan Accrued Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas. Join Jane Klaus on Creative Living as she shares fun and inspiring ideas for enriching your life.
I'm Jane Klaus, and on the next Creative Living, we're talking about making positive changes in your lifestyle to kick off the new year. And a new career path for 2022 that could have you traveling the country.
Watch Creative Living, Sunday night at 8:30 on YourView and YourView.com. Creative Living. Imagine what you can do. Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More as we celebrate Black History Month with recognition of African American history, culture, and perseverance.
Watch Doing More, Sunday night at 6 on YourView and YourView.com. If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on your view, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. And visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 a.m. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
My first time in Mexico was 26 years ago.